All right, so welcome back to the Garage Woodcarver. I'm here with Sophie and Spencer.
The lowly apprentices.
Yes, indeed. So we're gonna do an unbagging today of some chisels that I bought. I know it says Amazon Prime, but this is not from Amazon Prime. This is actually from eBay. And I bought 4 chisels off of eBay for 16 bucks. So that's like 4 chisels, $4 a piece. Shipping was like $8, so around about 25 bucks total for 4 chisels. And we're gonna open them up and see what they are. I think it was like 3 flat chisels and a gouge. So anyhow, I'm kind of excited to see what these look like. And we're gonna tune them up. That's gonna be another project anyhow. So without further ado.
You should use that big saw to open it. That would be so cool.
Yes, indeed. All right. Nicely wrapped. A little blue tape on the end. So these, I think these were user chisels. Like they haven't been sitting in somebody's basement for years.
The guy actually used them?
Yeah, they look in really pretty good condition. Not a lot of rust.
Can you tell what model they are?
Yep. So we'll take a look at them one at a time. This is looks like an old Buck Brothers gouge, and let's see, definitely a Buck Brothers handle. You can see that on the end here. Buck Brothers, and they have that kind of leather cap on the end. It's pretty standard pattern. If you buy a Buck Brothers chisel now, it still has kind of the same shape to the handle, but not as good. So no marking on the blade, but it looks like it's original to this. It's probably about the right size and everything. You can see it's kind of sharpened in a bit of a thumbnail. So that's going to take us a little work to actually resharpen it. I don't know if somebody was using this on the lathe or what. It's not a lathe chisel. This is actually just a gouge, and it's probably about a number, I'd say a number 6 gouge right there. So not bad. Not a bad little chisel for like $4. Handle's a little loose.
Can we tighten that up?
But we can probably tighten it. I can probably pull it out with just hand pressure, but I'm not going to. It's not bad. We can put a little bit of a little sliver of wood in there to actually tighten it up, and that'll hold just fine. I like buying tang chisels because I like making my own handles, and the ones that are socket chisels like this is a socket chisel I have. I find that's a lot harder to make, to actually have that fit in there, and then it also shrinks. When it shrinks, it loosens up. So the thing about a tang chisel is that and I'll show you what I was going to show you what a tang looks like, but I think I'll put it back in my other toolbox. But anyway, a tang is just a metal piece that goes in here. It's like kind of a tapered rectangular or a square shape that goes into the wood of the handle itself. So anyhow, that's the first one, not bad. Next one up is some marples, and yep. So both marples, and this is a firmer chisel. So this is probably about it's a flat carpentry or cabinet making chisel. You can see that, and that's it's in pretty good shape. It looks like it's been cleaned up a bit. I don't really care about that. Like true antique collectors don't like it when somebody takes a wire brush to stuff or takes the rust off of it. But since I use it, I do the exact same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten the back of that and then put a proper angle on that, and then that's going to make a nice chisel. It's almost thick enough to be like a mortising chisel. You can see that. And it used to have a brass cap or ferrule around this end. It looks like that's been removed or just come off over the years, but it's still got the label on it. So I mean, for $4, you can't buy a chisel like this. That's as good as steel. So, yep. So anyhow,
I bet
check
that
out.
antique collectors actually like the rust on because it makes them look more genuine and not like ripoffs.
It makes them look old. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one we have is another nice user. It's in really good shape. One thing when you're buying used chisels, especially for cabinet making, carpentry and stuff, you want to make sure that you don't have a serious amount of pitting on the back, because we're going to be flattening that. And this one has got a little bit of pitting. You can see that. but it's not going to be too much of an issue because we're going to be able to get past that, and it looks like near the edge of the blade it's actually in pretty good shape. So we'll flatten it up, but if it's super pitted on the back, you're going to have a really hard time actually making that flat and making a nice edge. But this is a really nice, let's see who the maker of this is. This is Charles Taylor. So it's again, this is like a Henry Taylor, Charles Taylor. I think it's related to the Henry Taylor, but anyhow, it's got a nice nice markings on there. It's Charles Taylor with a screw on it, so I'd have to look at that. But you can see that it's a nice cabinet chisel. It's still got a lot of length to it, and it's really a nice section on that. It really comes to a nice thin taper on the sides, which is really good for actually getting into tight angles and stuff. So this is in really good shape. The handle is still tight, so I'm not going to actually do anything with this. I'll probably put a coat of shellac on the handle just to clean it up a bit and then sharpen it up, and then that one is good to go. And that's a really nice chisel. So if you buy a chisel nowadays, you know, like it's going to have, I mean, this is an old one too, but just for example, the sides of it are going to be super thick because what they use less less quality steel, so they have to make it thicker. And this, you know, is high quality steel, so it's nice and thin, really nice to use, light in the hand. So you can check that out. Watch out, that one's still a little sharp. So anyhow, the last one we have looks like a says Tiger Tools. It kind of looks like a lot of the old Stanley tools. So I don't know, I'm not familiar with that brand, but again, it's in really good shape. This is a socket tang, but it's actually pretty firm in there. It's got that leather cap, which people like to, they used to put on those. But again, this is a nice one. And I don't know what we have for sizes here. Let me take a look. This one looks this is a 1/2-inch chisel. So again, 1/2 inch, and these look like both maybe 3/8 or 5/8. Yeah, this one's a 3/8. This one's a 3/8 as well. So, and then we have the gouge, of course, which is 1/2 inch. So a 1/2 inch gouge. So all in all, you know, 4 chisels off of eBay. And so they were about less than $5 a piece, or actually $6 a piece, a little over $6 a piece. Yeah, if I do my math right, $25 for the whole thing.
That's not bad.
So yeah, not a bad deal. So we'll sharpen them up, and that'll be one of the next projects. All right, thanks for watching.